Good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening. Very much a good evening. Good evening, Spencer. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, actually, mate. Very well. Back from my travels, obviously, as you know, because I was around at your place the other day and disturbed you while you were trying to do a little podcast, little video.
Very naughty. I noticed you've got a sign behind you. Is that anything to do with flatulence?
No. The sign says on air rather than out of arse, so it's
Okay.
good.
Good. Well, very nice. Very nice to see you once again. Yes, you did disturb me. You had a game of well, you tried to have a game of medieval. No, you did have a game of medieval
I
madness.
did have a game of Medieval Madness. I have to say I'm not unfamiliar with the game. I've got a rough idea what's going on with Medieval.
You had a game on Godzilla.
I did.
More than one.
I had to press start on that several times.
You did like it, didn't you?
Yeah. It's quite interesting actually because I think you obviously know me a very long time, but I don't really get that excited about a pinball until I've played it and until I've had some quality time with it. There's loads of hype going backwards and forwards, especially about Godzilla. I mean, people have been raving about it. But I've actually sort of kept my powder dry on that one because, you never know when it's going to happen. You're going to end up going against the flow and going, actually, do you know what? It's not for me. But I really enjoyed it. I played it originally. I had a game on was it a pro or premium down at Pinball Republic?
Pro at Pinball Republic, although
pro.
I do believe Neil is he's either selling or sold the pro, and he's bought a premium. He's got an LE at home, and he's putting. I think he's putting a premium at Pinball Republic, or he already has done.
Dave Bishop says, "How far are we into the chat?" Oh, about.
Oh, Dave, been here hours, Dave, hours. Oh, what you've missed all the good stuff. So, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Dave's got a Godzilla. So's Paul. Silver.
Oh, good.
Godzilla. It's just like a Godzilla. Shh, don't tell anyone else. We quite like it. We are going to discuss other things aside from Godzilla. So I'd say let's have a little rundown of what we're going to discuss tonight.
Yes, yeah. But we'll get back into Godzilla in a bit. I've got lots to say on that actually. I was
good. Well, we want to hear you say it, Spence. So what we're going to discuss tonight, just as we were about to go live, you like a Queen, don't you, Spence?
I love a Queen.
He loves Queen. Well, Queen has just been there's a promo video with Queen, which we're going to share on this platform and hopefully not get a copyright strike. I've taken the music out of it though, so we'll have to talk over and have a little discuss of what we can see. I've not even watched the whole video yet. Or if you want some Queen, maybe me and Spence will sing "We Will Rock You." Whilst we're watching the video sequence, we've got a little sequence about the UK Open, which is imminent, really imminent. A lot of people coming over, all the best players most of the best players in the world. Basically, loads of good players from all over the world are going there to the UK Open, and Tony's going as well.
Oh, Tony's going. That's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have a chat about Iron Maiden. We are going to have a chat about Spinal Tap, I believe, Spencer, and there's something else which totally escapes me now. So let's just say hello to everybody else in the chat. David, good evening,
David's
sir.
In the house.
Wayne, who's the reason that I have not only a Deadpool, but I like a pinball crush on Deadpool. There's Matty. Good evening, sir. There's Claire.
Evening, Claire.
And there's Phil. There we go. I don't know. So Phil's popping on in a week or two. We have got Alan Budd.
Claire's in the same house.
They're in the same house. Separate rooms. separate internet connections.
Absolutely.
Imagine if there's a lag and David's 30 seconds ahead of Claire. Can't believe what I just said. 30 seconds later. Can't believe I just said that. What we say? Oh, there's John. Very nice, John. John was John's the chap that invited us over. He's not the only one that's invited us over, by the way. I've had lots of lovely invites to go and film people's pinball things, machines mostly. I'm popping up within the next week. I'm popping up next week or two. So a lot of you would have seen Ant's magnificent T2. He is currently doing restorations on a couple of Adam's families, 2 at the same time. So he's
doing 2, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. I spoke to him today actually, and so I'm popping up there next week to get some really good footage of him. He's going to be doing hopefully some of the screen printing on the back box, which we'll get.
Wow.
Now, other people have done this before, but it's
on your back box or on the back box of the machine?
Hey, a man's back box is his own private business, my friends. Mind your own, and so mind your own. Thank you very much. And he's going to be
or get it screen printed, yeah,
putting the decals onto the cabinet. So we're going to be filming that. But normally when people do it, it's the person sets up a camera and then does it. He's actually going to do it, and then I'm going to film it, which is much better than the other way around.
Oh God, can we do it the other way around? Please let us do it the other way around.
There'd be a lot of sweat. Hold on a second. I like it. Sort of sociable, but not.
They could still be out of sync with each other. One of them could have started, and the other one, live, and the other one started from the beginning.
I hope there's no row. I hope
there's nothing else going on.
Lovely. I'll tell you what, that cup of tea made as only I can make it. You see that?
Badly.
Lovely. Oh, it's gorgeous dark. Almost tipped it over the keyboard. So that was a very short chin.
That's
Mate. Anyway,
that's good. You've made me thirsty, didn't you?
Spency Wency. That's a large glass of whiskey, mate.
It is. That's the first one of the morning, that.
Absolutely. What are we going to start with? You decide, my friend? What are we going to talk about?
Well, I'd started already on Godzilla, really. Shall I crack on with that and we'll see how that goes? Mate. Yeah, I shall finish off on Godzilla.
That's one way to save Tokyo.
I doubt that's going to save it. So yeah, I was saying before everybody joined that I always reserve judgment on a machine until I've actually played it. There's been a lot of hype about Godzilla, and everybody's been raving about it and saying it's the best pinball ever and all the rest of it. But I've kind of kept my powder dry on it and waited until you got yours, and boy did I wait a long time for that. But it's there now, and I've had a game with it. It's really bloody good, actually. I am particularly impressed with the flow of the game. I mean, it just flows beautifully. The only thing that I would say upsets the flow to a degree, and dare I say it, is that magnetic, the holder at the top. Sometimes it just hangs onto that ball, and it just, you're waiting around while it decides whether it's going to drop it or not. Other than that, some of the shots on it are amazing, and the path that the ball can take is really good. And not only from bottom to top of the playfield, but some of those paths go in reverse, especially around the back of the Mecha Godzilla and all that sort of stuff. It's great. Absolutely great. And there's the middle flipper on the left-hand side. If you get it off the nose of that, you can send it into the around the back of the Mecha Godzilla. You can send it right back down the playfield along the path. And you kind of don't, when you initially get on the machine, you don't spot that. And then you do it by accident. And once you've realized this sort of whole sort of plethora of shots opens up, it's fantastic. Really, yeah,
you're absolutely right. You really can aim with that. And I guess it's not the only that there are many middle flippers where you can aim. But I feel like I can see it, I guess, in many respects. I think if we compare it to Jurassic Park, it's a middle flipper, same designer, but that flipper's on the right-hand side. Particularly when you're going for the tower shot, you're almost hitting it across what you believe to be the path of the ball rather than targets you can actually see, because it's such an open middle of the playfield. The bottom one behind Mechagodzilla, that's called the tail whip, the one you're alluding to there.
Yep.
You very much see it. And even sometimes if you need to hit the scoop or the single pop bumper.
Yeah, scoop shots off that work that really flipper. Nicely. Yeah. The only one that doesn't is that right-hand ramp shot.
Yes. But here's the thing. You can't do it in normal gameplay, but what I've found really weird is actually if you plunge it and try and do a skill shot, you can actually plunge it onto the middle flipper. And it must be something to do with the angle. You can hit that top ramp on a skill shot on a plunge.
Sneaky.
Yeah, okay. I might not with any regularity or skill, but you can. Okay. You can actually do it. So you're going to we're going to bring Godzilla down to you to live at yours for a couple of days.
It's coming down to stay at my house. I'm very excited about that. I did have, it was the Pro that I had to go at Pinball Republic a little while ago. I had a couple of games on that, but the other day when I came up to yours, I had a good few games on it. And one thing I will say about it is I was really intrigued when we went to Pinball Republic and we played on Neil's machine. I wanted to know how much the building and the bridge affected the gameplay, because obviously the building moves down and it alters the path of the ball.
Yep.
I was actually pleasantly surprised, this is going to sound daft, how little it affected my enjoyment of the game, and how it wasn't actually the focus of the game that I thought it was going to be.
No.
And I can really see with that if you've got a pro or a premium, does the premium have a moving building as well?
That is the
Or is it
premium.
just-
Mine's the premium. Got the premium.
Yours
Yeah,
is
the
premium,
one
right?
that's,
Okay, I wasn't
that's
sure
got,
whether
that
yours was
doesn't have
LE
it
or
is the
not.
pro.
Even if you got a pro, I think it's an amazing game. The only thing that the pro it would be nice to bring to the party on the pro would be the Mecha Godzilla, that revolving shot there. That's about the only thing I think you'd miss on it. I certainly don't think you're losing out too much without the collapsing building.
No. You can definitely live with that. The one thing that I appreciate about that premium, and I do agree. I think you're not getting any more enjoyment. But
No.
the one I think it's Gigan, where you choose the monster and you've got to hit the ramps. That whole thing got eight of those ramps. What you can do if the building has gone down one level, then if you hit the right ramp, it'll just return it back to left flipper. So it means you can hit all 8 shots off that right ramp, which is a lot easier to complete the mode. You don't get the bonuses for alternating the ramps, but it's a really, really good one. So the idea is it's going down to Spencer's. We're going to do a little bit of filming on it down there, aren't we, Spence? We're going to fit Davey's wonderful.
This is my penance for borrowing the machine. So basically, he sold me this on Spence. Do you want to borrow Godzilla? I'm like, oh god, I got really excited. He goes, I've got some mods for you to fit. Oh, right, here we go. This is the real crux of it. So I've got, what mods have I got to fit? I've got Davey's Tokyo.
Well, we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do this video together. Which has got this is Davey's. Sorry, the lights are very good.
Are we going to hold? Have you got some underpants in there?
These are Davey's stockings. Davey's knickers. Right, okay. Look at the packaging on that. Look at all the goodness in there. Honestly, I'm going to make a pair of pants out of those.
Do you know what? I can't wait.
Something naughty for the weekend, maybe even a weekday. So we're going to do a video of that for Davey. Then you've got some.
What else have we got to fit then?
Art blades.
Art blades or mirror blades on that one?
Art blades. Because then you can do a video for the channel on how to install art blades.
Great. Okay.
And there's something else.
There was a third thing.
We've got a load of collie wobbles plastic areas. There's the Cole who likes to wobble. Good evening, my friends.
Good evening. Cole. He actually mentioned something about Godzilla the other day. I was talking to him the other day, and we had a little chat about Godzilla. And he actually made a very valid point, and that is, if you don't have that building, you don't have to sit through that whole basic, that whole mech going up and down and waiting for the multi-ball and all the rest of it. He made the point that if you want to get some games under your belt and you really want to play it without too many interruptions, then actually the Pro is a pretty good option, because it takes that whole mechanical side out of the game. You don't have to wait around for it.
Well, it's all right during the game. The problem is when you've finished your game and there's 2 balls locked in there, because then it has to go all the way down, release the balls, go all the way up. So what you can't do is instantly press start for another game. He's right about that. During the game, it's sort of fine. Particularly if you've got the heat ray charge, because you can slap your hand down on the button, because you have to hold it down there and you charge it like that. Just like that.
How's it go?
Like that.
That was
I've got one to say it doesn't do that.
How many balls in Godzilla?
No, do you know what? I always say this. Okay, I'll tell you about that. All right, I actually switched. It was because I had Alan on the forum, Alan J. He's got one, and I was struggling to reach a certain level on it. Get to the point where I could actually achieve some extra balls and stuff like that to start progressing the game and start moving on to the 3rd city and then the 4th city and stuff like that. I didn't open much of the game up. And Alan had said on there, and it's something I subscribe to this theory as well. He'd said when he gets it, he just sticks it on easy level, and he sticks it on 5 ball. And I thought, you know what? And he's absolutely right. So actually, I put it on 4 ball, and I started to really get it going. And since then, it's got me to that point. I've learned what to do. Now I've taken it back down to 3 ball, but with all the extra balls on, because as something that Craig said to me about this game, he said this game was designed. Elwyn designed this game to get extra balls. You have to get them to be able to progress all the way to the end. It's part of the strategy. It's part of the incentive. And then since then, since you've been here, I've got my highest ever score on it.
What have you got?
1.9 billion. Which was really, I was chuffed with that. But then
how many cities?
3.
Okay.
And then Andy. Oh, I might get this wrong. He won't mind. He had a really good game. 3.6 billion or something. He got a couple of nights ago. He sent me
which Andy?
Big Nose Andy.
What with the glass on?
With the glass fully on. Fully on.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not hearing a word of that.
No, he did. He had a great game.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I only found out the other day he got Godzilla. I didn't know he had it.
Yeah. He loves it. Anyway, he's got. I'll leave that. We'll get Andy on again. He's got big plans. Anyway, so what we got? We've got more hellos. Like that. That's the old. We know about that, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Phil, evening, Phil.
Okay.
You said can't skip multi-board. Start the pro. Okay. And good evening, mate. Good evening. So we like a bit of that. I'm sure there's something else. I think there might be Collywobbles plastics. I think there's a few things for you to fit on there. And I think
I shall do some videos on fitting whatever you give me, and we'll take
absolutely. Right. Do you want to should we just have a quick look at this Queen thing, shall we? Okay, we can talk through this. I've had to strip out the music. All right, so all we got is a video. So this is from the Pinball brothers, Spencer. Obviously, they did the Alien.
Yeah.
Game which you played. I don't think you played their other game. In fact, I really don't think you have. But it's Queen. I don't know who that is. As a lion.
Yeah.
As Freddie. Some lady. That's the guy that Lost Boys, isn't it? Brian. That's Angie from EastEnders. He was married to her,
He was.
But anyway, there you go. This is what we all want to see.
Does it come with dry ice?
It does. I think that's just basically lots of people vaping next to it. Really, they held it at a vaping convention. So there you go. There's a flipper. And okay, well, to be fair, I mean, it's really hard to tell. Spinner there. Oh my goodness, that's like
good lord. There was a fat bottom girl.
I'd say it was like the old tennis poster. Have you seen that? That's not Freddie Mercury. Who's he?
Scratching the backside.
Little scoop there. Wire forms. Oh, I like that.
Targets.
I like that. That's a piano keyboard. I like that. Roger.
Yeah.
Brian. Oh, there's Wembley. I like Wembley at the back. The old the 2 towers at Wembley there. The old Wembley towers. It sort of makes sense, doesn't it? I guess
Okay, yeah. I think there's certainly potential. Well, I suppose it helps if you know the band. I mean, it's a band I'm relatively familiar with. Certainly familiar with their music, if not the name of the drummer. But yeah, it looks interesting. So when's that being released? Is it being released today, or have they announced it, or what's what?
I don't know.
Why are you showing me this video? What's the news?
Because Collywobbles put it up on the forum. I thought I nicked it.
Oh right, okay. No, fair play. As long as you stole it from somebody without context.
There you go. Someone will tell us. Someone will tell us. Anyway, so there you go. I thought that was interesting. So you got that. So it's all gone very rock and roll, right, Spence? Because we got the old what's it up there?
Iron Maiden. Yes.
That's up there. You'd have to look at it with such disgust. You haven't played it yet. You might like it.
Well, I've got to play it next week.
Yeah, you're doing that like it's a hassle.
I'm not. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of rock pins, music pins in general. It's just
just so many of them, and then obviously Spinal Tap, which we're going to discuss in this one as well. There are just loads of them.
You see, Spinal Tap, I I don't know. It's hard to call that a music pin because okay, the film was rock based, but it was a mockumentary rather
Of course.
than trying to be serious. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit tongue in cheek. It has got a little bit of something going for it, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, do you know what? We better talk some Iron Maiden then. So, as you,
I think we better get that out. I've been pulling faces. We better get that out of the way.
yeah, okay. So Iron Maiden has turned up.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't just not. I didn't walk on its own four legs and just turn up and knock on the door.
That'd be a thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so Iron Maiden's turned up, and so yes, I got that for a little while. It got put up for sale pretty quick afterwards. So it's a pinball machine. I'll give it that much. And it's what can I say? No, so I'm after an Aerosmith, another music pin actually. So might be looking to do a little something with that. If not, Matt's got first dibs in it in a sale. If not,
so this begs the question. This begs the question: if you're getting rid of that one, why are you looking at Aerosmith? What's your logic behind that?
Well, it's better music for a start. I quite like some of that music.
Okay.
It's fun. Okay, here's the thing. There's a lot of people love that game. A lot of people love that game. I would almost say people are evangelists for it. You know, so
I've heard a lot of good things said about it. I have to say,
very much so. And he's a great designer, Keith Elwin really is. And you know, people are very keen, and I understand this very. I understand this. People are very keen for me to discover the magic of that game. So there's lots of people, you know, saying, oh, you know, we play this game, and once you get it, and once you click with it, you'll absolutely love it, and things like that. And I do understand it because I'm actually like that with pinball itself, right? I don't mean individual games. So I got friends that aren't into pinball, but I got friends who might like darts. And well, you like darts, surely you'll love pinball. Come and play pinball. And I really want to sell the concept of pinball to them, and you know, almost force them and stick them on the machine. Bloody enjoy pinball.
Enjoy that game. Get hooked.
You will enjoy that game. So I sort of understand, you know, wanting someone to enjoy something, but I couldn't really do any more than I did, Spencer, which is I suspected I didn't like the game. And I bought it and I spent a lot of money on it. Just for I put my money where my mouth is here. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's a valiant effort. I mean, I think it doesn't get any better than forking out several £1,000s for a machine, having it in your house for a couple of weeks, and I think you've played it every day, haven't you? Since you've had it.
I have played it every day. I really have, and I'm trying. I'm really trying. But it feels like I'm trying, you know. I don't want to play it. I want to play Godzilla. I want to play Batman. I want to play Deadpool. I want to play Medieval Madness. I don't want to play it. You know, so right, okay. Better do me 10 games. You know, honestly, it feels like a chore. Better do me 10 games on Led Zeppelin. Not so. Let's see. I keep getting the bloody name wrong. Iron Maiden. It's just not. It's not for me, mate. All the shots are in the wrong place, and.
Is it like going to the gym after a really bad hangover? Is that what it feels like?
It is. It really is. It really is a bit. And I can understand how people like it. And I've tuned in. If you saw that video, first of all, I've tuned in those two shots on the right hand side, which are the orbit, which is a good shot. Okay, which is a good shot. I love
an orbit.
You do, and the right ramp, it is a good shot. I got them dialed in. That's not really the problem with it, you know. To be perfectly honest with you, it's you know, as other the upper flipper, I don't like the little one. There's 4 flipper game. I think it's a little bit too many flippers, to be honest with you. The upper flippers, I don't really get on with it. There's you talk about the building collapsing. There's a post that keeps on popping up at the back, and sarcophagus something, right? Or rather, it keeps popping up, Spence. Well, why is that? It keeps stopping the ball, and I'm hey, I'll get a little bit of flow in. No, you don't. Boop, up you go. Right, okay, brilliant. And then there's just this shot through the pop bumpers, which is really hard. And everybody says, oh, it's great when you get it. Yeah, it is, but I don't get it very often. Do you know what I mean? So in actual fact, I actually prefer Rush. I think Rush has better, for me, Rush has better shots. And I enjoy the music more as well. I can't get on with the music. What do you do?
It was quite amusing. I'll tell people about this, but I mean, you phoned me up the other day and went, "What is this Eddie thing?" And I actually went to school with a guy that I went to boarding school. I shared a room with a guy that was seriously into heavy metal. So I've got a little bit of a background in the basics of heavy metal. So I knew what Eddie was and what the significance of Eddie was. I had to explain it to Chris because he was totally lost. I had no idea at all. You just didn't know what this thing was. Who Eddie? You thought every member of the band was called Eddie.
Yeah. I thought, what are the chances of it? It's a miracle. They must have been auditioning. We've got this drummer, this great drummer. His name's Gary. Sorry, mate. No, you're off. If your name's not Eddie, you're not in a band. As it says on there, collects Eddies. Oh, okay. So that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, I'm collecting band members. No, you're not. And then someone's as a demon or something, flying a Spitfire. Why has a rock band got a demon? And why are they flying for Spitfire? And all of a sudden, they're in ancient Egypt. No, look, no one loves a pharaoh more than me, Spence, right? But a Tutankhamun, not a problem. You know, I love a geezer.
Of course
right?
you do.
Why? I just didn't understand it. And it sort of actually took me back to Rush when I'm looking at it. Hold on, this is a banding. Surely I should be collecting some drumsticks or not chicken, but surely I should be collecting some musical instruments. Why am I in a time machine? And why am I going from planet to planet? You probably wouldn't have a time machine.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Some sort of wormhole or something, maybe. But anyway, I didn't understand why a band was doing this. I think the whole concept of these bands, maybe that made more sense. That Queen one that we saw. Okay, I'll get that. Do a concert at Wembley. I don't know, but I sort of understood it a little bit more. And here's the point. I looked at it, and as you said, if you don't know the band, and then you're going to struggle a little bit with it. So actually, you're not just buying in. You're not just buying in to the pinball machine. Actually, you've got to learn about the band. Wow, I'm sorry. It's. I
think you've got to like the band and know about the band before you would even contemplate getting that machine. I don't think it's a machine that if you knew nothing about the band and you'd never heard their music about, that you're going to go out and buy. You're just not going to do it. And if you did, you'd have to do exactly what you said, which is to go and learn it all. And you'd have to get a liking for the music. And I have to say, the other time, I watched that video you did the other day. You said it all sounds the same. I'm afraid I have to say I'm in the same boat with you. Every time a new track started, it did sound remarkably similar to the last. We are so going to be so unpopular for this.
I was looking at it, right, and actually, so the shots have started to grow on me a little bit. But I started thinking about how it must have gone down. So if you completely strip that game out and made it something else, if you made that game Star Wars, that was it. But Star Wars, but those were the shots. Then I think you might be selling the car. Okay, I'll get it. I'm going to Endor. I'm beating up Darth Vader or what. Fine. I get it, and I sort of understand what to do. I think the shots would be good, but I just sort of wonder. So I got visions of Stern, right, and so they're at Stern, and old Larry Stern's there. He's saying, right, and he's got his designers meeting. He's got them all there, and he's saying, right, okay, so we got some themes. I need to divvy this up between the designers. So Steve, you can have Star Wars. You can have Star Wars. Steve's, oh, great. I love a bit of Star Wars. All right, Steve. Steve is my number one designer. You can have Star Wars there. That's good. Okay, what else we got? Brian. Brian, we give you a Stranger Things, and Brian's, Stranger Things. I can deal with Stranger Things. Stranger Things would do me. John, you got any? What about Guardians of the Galaxy? John's there saying, I'll have a bit of Guardians of the Galaxy. I've got no ideas though, Gary. No ideas. Don't worry about it. Just use Metallica. Just do. Okay, fine. So he's got Guardians of the Galaxy, and Keith's there at the end of the room with his hand up. Oh, Gary, can I have a thing? Hold on a second. Dennis, can you do a new remake on Scared Stiff and an Elvira thing? Okay, you got that, Dennis. It's all going out there, and they're saying, where's John? John, you've got where's John? John's gone. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's George, you can take over Deadpool. So you got that, and there's basically at the end, Keith Elwin's there, and he's saying, "What about me, boss? Can I have a theme? Can I make a pinball machine, please?" And he said, "Okay, you can have Iron Maiden." Right, it's sort of like the last kid in the line on the fence when they're picking the football team, right, at lunchtime. And Keith says, "Sorry, Iron who?" And Gary says, Iron Maiden. Who, what is it? What's Iron Maiden? Oh, it's a band. A band. I don't know. You know them. There's that one. That's really good. Then they got the other tune. So basically, he's ended up with a short straw. He's had to, so he's basically had to make a silk purse out of a bull scrotum.
This has affected you quite deeply, hasn't it? I did say to you, if you try and play a game that you don't like 10 times a day for 2 weeks solid, you will grow to resent that game. That is exactly what I said to you. And I think if there was ever clear and present proof of me being right on that, I think that little outburst just about sums it up.
There you go. Anyway, so it's not going to last long. Anyway, right. There might be something else coming in next week. You don't know about that.
Oh right, okay. Well, I'll talk to you about that off air.
Yeah, go on. You talk to me.
So while we're on the theme, as we seem to just be talking about dad rock pins at the moment, there was an announcement about Spinal Tap. Well, this is Spinal Tap, I should say, rather than just Spinal Tap. It's currently, I had a look through Pinball News. Anybody that hasn't had a look on Pinball News, go and find that on there. We'll put a link in the description underneath, because there's some great pictures on there. But it's by a company that most people know that are into pinball, called Homepin. Now, I went and had a look at this. Now, I know a little bit about Homepin, but I don't know a huge amount. Subsequently, I've been and had a little nose around, but I kind of went into this. I just thought, right, okay, keep an open mind and have a little look at this on face value. It's not bad. I mean, I've not played it. All I can do is look at the pictures of it, but the cabinet artwork doesn't look bad. The shots look kind of all right. I don't know how they're going to play. It's got a couple of nice mechs on it. It's got an interesting sort of ball redirect routing thing going on. It's got, arena lighting. I'm looking down here at my crib sheet. It's got illuminated speakers. It's got a shaker motor. It's got decent electronics in it. The electronics in the back box look a little bit homebrewed, but apart from that, it's all together. It's got decent power supply in it. They've got some interesting things. They're using opto sensors on the outlanes rather than sort of traditional switches that the ball runs over. Yeah. They've got an optical sensor. They're using Hall sensors, which is kind of like a magnetic sensor on the spinners, so that there's no resistance to the spinner. So the spinners are free running. The artwork looks great. I mean, this is Spinal Tap, and anybody that I'm not a great expert on it. I think I've seen it once. Yeah. It's a mockumentary about a British rock band who, this is where the Turn It Up to 11 thing came from. The artwork looks fine. It's a little bit tongue in cheek. It's going to be an interesting one. Now, I said that, I went off and did a little bit of research, and obviously Homepin got kind of slated for Thunderbirds. Now, I've never played Thunderbirds.
Phil said they. Hold on, where's the? There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it's at Tony's. So you can play Thunderbirds because it's at Tony's.
Oh, right. Well, in that case, I will tap up Tony for a quick game of Thunderbirds. Now, Thunderbirds was much maligned, and I don't know for what reason, because I've not played it. It might be, I might love it. But I have to say, there's another manufacturer on, that have produced a machine. I think, to actually put his money where his mouth is and get another machine out there.
For sure.
A fully working machine, especially after the slating that Thunderbird's got.
Let me just correct myself there, because before it goes too much further, it's not actually at Tony's.
It's not at Tony's.
It's at Mike and Tony's club. It's at Medway.
I need to get down there and have a little go on there.
Yeah.
But I think, whatever your opinion of Homepin as a company, and looking at this machine at face value, I can't see an awful lot wrong with it. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays and how well it's received. But fair play to the bloke. He's put his money where his mouth is. A bit like you with old Iron Maiden. There, you put your money where your mouth is, and he's got a pin out there. Let's have a look. It doesn't look like there are many mechs toys in this. But well, there is a mech in there. There's a ball lock where the balls get pumped up from beneath and held in a sort of a tower thing that then opens and sheds out the multi-ball. I think it's a multi-ball lock.
Well, we also don't know the price point on it.
Well, yet. the price point is estimated to be about $9,500.
Oh, okay. So I mean that's up there. That's more expensive than a Stern Pro.
It is more expensive than a Stern Pro. But like I say, it seems to be quite a lot of machine for the money. It's got, like I say, the arena lighting. It's got illuminated speakers on it. It's got shaker motors. It's got a lot of the toys on it that you would expect with most people. A lot of people fit arena lighting and stuff aftermarket anyway. It's going to be an interesting one. I was quite intrigued by it. I'd like to see one. Or I'd like to play one before.
It'd be interesting. Well, hopefully we can get a look at one at some point, and if we do, we'll do a video on it. That's for sure. Actually, while Mike's because Mike's here, I should say a bit of rip roaring success. Medway Pinball Club, by the way, which has had its inaugural opening pin bash flip. Its inaugural flip. That's a good one, isn't it?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's up which we went down very, very well. What they've done there is tremendous, and we'll be going down soon. Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see Spinal Tap. But as soon as we find out one is somewhere, then we'll go and have a look. Probably worth saying while we're on that so Martin, whose website you saw the pictures on for that, he went and saw Bond.
Did he?
He didn't go and see Craig Davis. He actually went and saw the machine, the actual machine.
Good old Craig David.
7 modes. And he actually played the machine, and it was. I'll tell you what was nice. It was nice to see. It was nice to see some footage of it. It was nice to see a good player playing it as well. So that was, but it was very limited code on it, obviously. So there'll be a code before it comes out. There's still some licensing issues with it, so a lot of the time the screen would go blank. So there's some there's some content that they're not allowed to use. It's assets. That's the word I was looking for. So it was very much a prototype version of it. That being said, it was really nice to see it. Really liked particularly the right ramp and the left orbit, which doesn't. There's a worry when you look at the next version up, the premium version. Funny enough, you discussed it with the collapsing building on Godzilla, because you've got the like Swinger Bond coming out. I was a bit worried every time you went through on that orbit, would it always get caught up on a magnet? But actually, no. I mean, I guess you're going to have to do something quite special to make that happen. In the main, the ball's going round the orbit and coming round, so it didn't particularly seem to interrupt the flow, which was really good. The only issue and it's not just that, it's everything, is the price of it, because of the weakness of the pound at the moment. So it looked, obviously the price of it looks like it's just going up, and all the time Stern have increased the prices, but it's really I think the currency exchange rate has been the problem, Spence. So I mean, it's just
I mean, I mean, that may well turn out to me, without getting into economics, that may well turn out to be a fairly short affair. I don't know. If they put up interest rates here, then we could see the pound becoming a bit more buoyant. I think we're in a state of flux at the moment. It's the lowest it's ever been, so it's quite easy to get a bit jumpy about prices. But how long are we going to wait before it actually gets released and orders are starting to be taken, etc.? Well, it's a good couple of months down the road. Let's see what happens. things could bounce back a little bit, he said optimistically.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. That sounds good. That sounds good, mate. Makes me feel a little bit better about it. Let's just pop this up here because again, it's not. I do like it when other information comes up. It said Mike. So I guess Mike is who does the home pin. He said as prices are right out of the market with Spinal Tap, especially you've got to import them. Yeah, I mean because obviously we've got.
That's a valid point. Yeah.
We're going to feature on this channel. We haven't done Super Hoops yet. That's an intention. We're going to Super Hoops is priced very competitively.
That sounds like instant noodles to me.
It's not. It's Heinz. Super Hoops is Heinz.
Right,
that's what it'd be, right? It's just spaghetti hoops. I reckon if it was the Super Hoops, it'd have the sausage.
The super noodles and spaghetti hoops.
Yes,
this is where it's come from. Yeah.
Which all the food groups represented. That's all you need for a balanced diet. Is spaghetti hoops and super noodles. Yeah. Oh, there you go. So Adam's saying that again. I mean, that is, we're going to get to play one of those. Phil's going to sort us out for that, and we'll have a little be able to do a little video on that at some point. I intentionally avoided it at Pinfest because I knew obviously we'd do a video on it.
Did you give it a wide berth?
I did because I didn't want it to influence my thing. So yeah, that's going to be really interesting to have a look at that. There was something else okay. Blimey,
you're right.
I'm going to right. Okay. Now, this weekend coming up, we have the UK Pinball Open. I mentioned it at the start. Many of the world's best players are going to be there. It's a really big day, massive day, weekend, not day, weekend for UK Pinball. The link is in the description of this video. So literally under this screen, there'll be a little drop-down box. Click on that. Go and check out the website, which I will tell you immediately afterwards, after you've had a little listen to this.
Thanks, Chris, for this little slot. Look, we got the UK Pinball Open, 157 players registered. 20 from the US, about 60 from Europe, and the rest Brits. Pretty much anyone who's a serious tournament player is registered for this weekend, and I'm really humbled by that. And I appreciate the trust that you've all given me to run a phenomenal event. Running the event, I've got some phenomenal helpers. First of all, Pinball Republic. It would not be possible to do this event without the club. A big shout out to the founders, to the members, and to our visitors who help us run this club. pinballrepublic.com. Secondly, we've got a ton of other volunteers that are helping us. Big thanks to that. In fact, if you want to help us, please volunteer. You'll find the details on Pinball Info. If not, just turn up to the club 10 a.m. on Thursday, or turn up to the hotel, the Hilton Croydon at 12 o'clock on Thursday, not on Friday, on Thursday. We're streaming, as I said, twitch.tv/backhand pinball. And we've then got ladies tournament on Saturday from 9 a.m. It's a match play tournament. And then after the match play tournament, we've got juniors best game final. Really excited about all these 6 tournaments. The main and the People's Bank are IFPA certified. That means we get 20% more whopperage. So if you want your whoppers, Croydon next weekend is the place to be. The other massive thing is the first place prize is a whopping £5,000. Really hoping a Brit wins it, but I think with some of the players that we've got coming, that isn't guaranteed. We've got Daniele Acchiari, former world champion, multiple world champion, amongst a number of world champions that are coming to this event. Really looking forward to it, really looking forward to everyone enjoying it. And that's the goal, is that everybody leaves having had a great time and looks forward to registering for the UK Open in the following year. And this is just the start. This is the second time we've ran this in a big way. Well, the second time I've ran it, and this is the start of it. The following years, we got bigger things planned in some amazing venues. And really, the goal of this year is to really test the mettle for this sort of tournament in Europe. A big shout out to the Indus guys who really kind of gave me the vision to run this. Indus, which is in January, register for that as well. It's a phenomenal event. Those guys run a brilliant tournament. I wanted to copy it, and I've copied, begged, borrowed and stealed from those guys, and they've been really helpful. And a big shout out to Carl D'Angelo for the Drains tournament software that we'll be running. With that, there's not much more to say. You can come and spectate. It's £5 to get in, or you can still come along and play. You can register on the day if you want to play. We'd love to have you. I'm just in the club getting ready. We got some games that are just being tweaked for the weekend. And then we're going to fold up a load of games, move them, unfold them, set them up, level them, make sure they play a little bit tougher than normal. But look, I want, our goal is that the games are tough but fair but fun. That's the key thing for this weekend, fun. Really look forward to seeing everybody. I'm so excited about this. It's been a long time in the build. Now it's show me the money time, and what a show me the money we've got, £5,000. Chris, thanks for your support on this. Great Chinwag. Hope to see you at the weekend. Hope to see everyone at the weekend. Croydon is the #1 pinball place in the world this weekend, and we can't wait to see you. Again, twitch.tv/backhandpinball, playpinball.uk is our website, and a big shout out again to Pinball Republic, which is the club here in Croydon with over 60 games from all eras. We'd love to see you down here after the event. Back to you, Chris.
Playpinball.uk. The link is in the description underneath. All the details are there. I've tried to memorize the Twitch thing, but I've lost it already. Right? It's all in. All right, it's literally seriously. I was saying it over and over in my mind. Playpinball.co. Just .uk. Crikey, I'm awful.
Did you say it so many times?
.uk. Go and check it out. Hold on, I'm in the middle of my spiel. Not to be missed. It is a massive event for UK pinball, and a whopping great prizes, by the way. And the other thing is probably just worth saying as well. So I've had a little read of the thread earlier on pinball info. Again, get in touch with Neil. Get in touch with any of the folks over at Pinball Republic. They probably need a little bit of a hand. Getting some games ready, getting them loaded up, and taking them down there. But also, as I understand it, on the Sunday as well. Pack up. It's going to be, it's going to be no easy thing to do to pack everything away. So all help is very much appreciated.
That's going to be the time that everybody says, "Well, it's been a lovely weekend. We'll see you soon."
Yeah, talk about Whopper. I'm off to Burger King. Yeah.
It's possibly the only time that you'll ever hear somebody positively endorse going to Croydon, really. But I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
It is.
We can say that because we used to live there.
We used to live next door to Croydon. It used to be our old stomping ground. But yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. I really hope the event goes well. Really hope it does.
I'm sure it will. They've no stone unturned. He's done a remarkable job there, and there's loads of help there. And also, as I understand, they do need a little bit of extra help with the scoring. So if anybody can help on that, that would be very much appreciated from everybody involved. I know that one. Now, Spence, at the moment you have got Fishtails, which we are gonna. So we're gonna get you Godzilla.
Yes.
Down to visit, and then you could basically. Do my dirty work for me.
I am going to do your dirty work for you.
You are. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take Fishtails, and I'm going to take that in the van. I'm going to take it to Scotty's house. Tell me about Fishtails, because you had Fishtails for a little while.
I've had Fishtails for a few weeks now. Well, actually, a couple of months. It's a cracking little game. I think everybody should own, or at least borrow, in my case, a Fishtails and have it at home.
You talk. That's not for you. That's for.
I think everybody should have a Fishtails in their collection, either begged, borrowed, or stolen for some period of time. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. Mine's actually is Collins, isn't it? That's
yes.
It's Collins that I've got. Just quick words, Con. I've put a full set of rubbers and new rubbers on it for him. So but yeah, I had a couple of them snap, so I thought I'll do the whole lot.
He got it from me in fine condition. I don't know what he was doing to make the rubbers snap.
Yeah, old age, I think. But it's an absolutely corking game. I've got over 1 billion on it. which is I got a little system on it, and you just do left boat, right boat, and so on, and then up the left hand side you get 50 million. It's you dial it in. It's quite easy. It doesn't pretend to be anything. There's no great sort of wizard goal on it. There's a super jackpot. It's very much a rinse and repeat sort of machine. But I had some mates over a couple of weekends ago, and there were a four-player game on it, and everybody loved it. And
non-pinball mates. It's
non-pinball mates, just normal people. And I defy anybody to have that machine in the house with a group of blokes all drinking beer, and for that music not to instigate some sort of hoedown going on, and all that stuff. It's an absolute corker, and it's a really nice game for beginners to pick up, because it isn't pretending to be anything. There's only really a few shots on it. There's a few little bits and pieces buried in it that you can dig out on your way.
That's a good point. It is a decent video mode.
Yeah. Shooting people off boats is fantastic.
Yeah,
and the nice what happened to anybody that doesn't know it is on the video backblast. There's a series of boats go from left to right at different distances back, and you have to shoot. You've got a certain amount of ammo to shoot them with, and you just basically press fire and off it goes. But occasionally you'll get a little EB logo go across it, which is extra ball. And if you shoot that, well, you get an extra ball.
Never ever got it. I can shoot the hell out of like a jet ski or whatever they are.
Really, I've never missed it.
I've never even seen the extra ball travel across.
No,
I've seen you do it, but I haven't.
I can honestly, hand on my heart, say I've never missed the extra ball. Whenever it's come up, it doesn't come up every time. I can't actually work out when it comes up or why. Maybe somebody can.
I'm sure they will.
Can tell me.
There's a bit of controversy in the chat.
The best video mode is Star Wars.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what. Good. That is a conversation. That's a conversation. That's a video. But to get it, I'm happy.
We've got to have a lot of video modes.
But what? Yeah, I'll tell you what though. Top 10 video modes in pinball, right? That's got to be a video if someone else hasn't done it.
Actually, I'll tell you what.
People would need to film it and send it in to me. Because I can't, do you know what I mean? Retrospectively, and tell us why. Yeah.
Well, you're going to have your sort of like top, 20 machines there or whatever it's going to be. You're going to go 50.
I am next week. If I get the game, I think I'm going to get. I'll have had 31 games in this house.
Holy cow!
Since the end of 2018.
Well, actually,
when I got Popeye, so I
could
don't
do a
get
top
any
25.
reason not to do. What?
You could do a top 25 because you don't have to have them all in there, do you?
You do.
You do.
You do. Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you going to do when you get your 51st game? Then you're going to have a top 51.
Well, whatever. I'll just change the title of the video, won't I? But as you know, actually, since you were in last time, that's mostly done down that side.
Yes. Yeah.
That's mostly done. So I'm really, really close, really ready to go, basically. So I'm actually really looking forward to doing that video. And actually, what I want to do, I already got Scott to send me in. Right, it was ages. I don't even know if he remembers doing it. Andy did it as well. So, for instance, when I've got them to do Stranger Things. So what I'll do is it'll be like the Pinside top 100, but it'll be the top 50. Rules being a couple of different rules. It has to have lived in this house, blah, 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 blah. And I won't be assessing it like normal people do. Fun is going to be at the top of it. How fun, how engaging is it? That sort of thing. And just different things. So it's my list. It's my bucket list, if you like, or whatever.
David has just told us you have to hit a certain amount of.
Can you not click on that?
I don't know. I don't know that I've got control.
I'll do it. It's fine. I don't know if you could. It's fine.
Yeah, you have to hit a certain amount of jet skis at every distance to get the EB. That explains it, because I shoot the shit out of them at the best of times anyway, which is probably why I see it most of the time. I shoot the jet skis.
I shoot everything. I've had that game long enough.
Yes. Yeah. I hear that music in my sleep. It haunts me. But I do love it. I love the game. I think it's a cracking little game.
Hold on. Where are all the videos gone? No one, bless you, bless you. Any videos I filmed are on this channel, mate. Are on this channel. But what I want to do with the top 50 is, so I want to talk about it and discuss what I like about it, and then obviously have the board and then place it. Why am I not? Where's my arm? What, you know, to then place it on the board.
It's on
I don't even
the
know
end
how
of your
camera
shoulder.
works, right? But yeah, whatever. I'm going to place it on the board, right? I'm going to write it down with my marker, place it on a bit of magnet, and then slap it on the board, right? And that'll be where it's going to be. But I want to have some footage of the game in it, describe the game, but also, so as it's not completely biased, I want a sort of 30-second audio clip from someone that loves it.
No, I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I asked Scott and Andy, speak for 30 seconds, tell me about Stranger Things, just while the sort of the B-roll, the footage is playing. So it's not just me.
Is that no glass, Andy?
Yeah. Yeah, 3.6 billion, Andy. He's clearly not watching this shit, otherwise he would have corrected me. What's he saying? What's he saying here? You're probably right. Yeah, I'll go from whatever 31 to 50 pretty damn quickly.
I think he's accelerating rapidly. He started off quite slow, but he's nearly up to full speed now. I mean, there's a machine going in and out there every 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, a bit like that, isn't it? But it's great fun, Spence.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I can't believe I'm going to get Godzilla down here. I'm really looking forward to that. Really.
Oh, sorry. So do you know what? I've got.
We've got some. We have got some videos.
We got a game of doubles on that recorded somewhere.
Yeah, we got a game of doubles on that.
John kindly lent me that, and we definitely some video footage. That will be on one of those videos. Ghostbusters.
We've got a couple
and
of others as well.
I'll tell you a little spoiler. Won't be as low as some people think. Ghostbusters gets a bit of stick, that game.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Ghostbusters.
You did like it.
I got on really well with that.
Oh, by the way, John's, if just in case John is looking. That's J Mac on the forum. He's looking for a remake of Monster Bash or Attack from Mars, just in case. I'm looking for a
remake of Cactus Canyon at the moment. Do you know it's been nearly a year since I put my deposit down?
Oh yeah, it's been DGC.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, we were discussing in the week, weren't we? You know, not just them, but there's a lot of companies who could just be a little better with their social media presence.
Yeah,
of just even if they just said, look, guys, you know, we hoped to have it out 3 months ago. Things have not worked out like that. We know you're keen for your games. Just please something. Yeah. And I know people are desperate, because actually you look on the views on this channel, the video that did on this channel with Cactus Canyon with a bit of gameplay, because I had it in for I'd had it for about 3 weeks and really enjoyed it, by the way. Really enjoyed it, but learned long enough to learn it, you know. And I think that's got, you know, on this channel, that video, it might be like the 4th most popular video done on this channel, because people are just desperate for some news on it, or, you know, just something really. There you go. And there you go. So yes, Mike's got they've got
a Cactus Canyon continued down there, I think, isn't it, Mike?
Absolutely. Yeah. He's got a nice neon thingy. It is a
Adam says he's got a Ghostbusters and he absolutely loves it, but he puts a sock between the flippers. There you go.
Yeah.
I liked it. Do you know, I didn't even notice until you pointed it out that the flipper gap was wider on that machine.
Yeah, but we didn't have the lightning flippers on.
Did we not?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
No, so that's why I didn't notice it. But you know what? Again, it's sort of like, you know, don't struggle. I just don't see any reason not to, you know. And that game's hard enough as it is, particularly with that little weird ramp on the right, which we were discussing on the forum the other day. There you go. I mean, but you know what? This is all good. This is all really good. We're all completely addicted to pinball. We've all got our favourite games. We've all got our favourite shots. Our least favourite shots, as we were discussing. Funny enough, Cole the other day he started a really decent thread about value for money games that weren't particularly classics. He got a help me out here, help me out. Some Tales from the Crypt. He's got Tales from the Crypt. And he was saying
right.
he enjoys it far more than he ever thought. So this is it. There are a lot of games that go under the radar that are brilliant. And I'll tell you what, and one I know you will agree with on this was Congo. Congo,
I love
I've had
Congo.
it twice now. It's a really, really good game. Really good game.
There's nothing wrong with Congo whatsoever, apart from the monkey theme. Apart from the artwork's a bit dubious, but you know what? The game itself, I really, really struggled to walk away from that game. I really just wanted to push start again every time I failed on it. At the end of every game, it was like, yeah, actually, just one more. I went full Columbo on it. Oh, just one thing. Yeah. Just the one. I'll have one more game. And it's only because I was around at your house and I had to leave. I didn't
make you leave.
No. But, I've got a life to get on with.
Yes.
If that had been at home, I could have had a very late night with that.
Very
late night.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's David's borrowing.
Yeah, you'll like Congo. Congo's a fantastic game. Lovely, lovely shots on it.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a great shooting game. And this is the thing. And I think whilst we're in this, it's not just a lull of sort of waiting for games to be delivered, be it Cactus or Halloween or whatever the case may be. I mean, somebody mentioned earlier, the Spinal Tap isn't ready yet. It's not coming over here. And then you've got the thing with, I don't just think it's the prices as well. We got the prices, which are going to be a hindrance to some people buying. There's lots of other, because there's a Total Nuclear Annihilation 2, don't you?
Yeah, it's TNA 2. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
So there's that, but people have got to wait, and they're all having basically there's like a like an Illuminati of pinball folk who have all gathered together, of UK pinball folk who are trying to import them like a dodgy drug deal. So but I think they're having to do it all together to try and make it cheaper. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe one of them will pop on and tell us. But I think while a lot of people are waiting, a lot of people are just looking at these other games thinking, I might have a go at that. Let me
I'm not being funny, but we are spoiled for choice. There are hundreds of games out there.
There are, and there's games up for sale now on the forum, which there wasn't. I don't know, without checking, but when I looked yesterday, there were a lot of games up for sale on the forum, certainly, I think, which is really good. And it's good to have a little swap around, which is why my initial choice with that, there you go, my initial choice with that is to trade it for something, and I looked at it, and there really were no other. You'll see, but what's looking to come in next week is a million miles away from that sort of thing. But I was certainly very much looking for a Stern Spike 2, and then so it really was Aerosmith was the only one that really appealed to me. I guess a Led Zeppelin I would do as well, but I've got no interest in Guardians of the Galaxy or anything like that. The irony is I'm playing about a music pin, but I'd take a Led Zeppelin or an Aerosmith. But I do like both their music. Others not so much. So I think that's the thing. It's really important to keep your collection, to keep pins in your collection.
And I think a lot of people look at some of these older pins or a pin with a bad theme, and it's just the game gets written off. And I'm a firm believer. Quite often, my favourite pin is the one that I'm playing right now. I don't really have a favourite at the moment. I've got pins that I like, but usually the pin that is my favourite is the one that's in my house. That's the one that I'm playing at the moment. My favourite's Fishtails. I love it.
Yeah.
My favourite will become Godzilla, and then the next pin after that. It's good to try these things and to keep an open mind. There are so many older games out there that are absolute corkers, and they've all got something going for them. No matter how bad the game is or how much it's been slated, it will have some redeeming features, and it will have something about it that floats your boat if you look hard enough.
Someone said on the forum today, I can't remember the exact words, but it was, of course, it's gonna. was about a machine that maybe wasn't considered to be great, but then somebody said on it, but of course, despite that, it's still going to be cool because it's a pinball machine. Like, oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
This is what I mean. It is.
Yeah.
I think we sit with our noses so close to to the glass that sometimes we don't actually take a step back and go, do you know how cool this is?
Yeah.
People that walk into, any of us that have pinballs, have non-pinball friends that walk into the house and go, wow. I mean, I can remember when you came round to my house and you didn't realize that you could own a pinball at home. And you were bowled over, and we get very blasé about it.
I didn't even know. Do you remember I said, Spencer, am I allowed to play? I remember you saying, I said, am I allowed to play it? And then I remember you went up to the house, and I was thinking, I'd like to switch that on, but I didn't even want to switch it on. I remember that. I was waiting for you to come back, and I said, can I switch? You said, why don't you switch it on, you silly bastard? I don't know. It seems so grand and so big and so flash and important.
And it might have gone bang.
Exactly. Well, there was that as well. Can you imagine?
But yeah, we do get very complacent about these, and every pinball machine is a cool pinball.
It is. Let's just have a quick read of this. Okay, looking at the possibility of new inbox purchase. Hopefully not since the future so far. I'm thinking Cactus Canyon special or a Godzilla Pro. Either or. I mean, it just depends what you like. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have had them both here. Well, not the special Cactus Canyon, but it's enough to know it'd be really good. Obviously, a lot more depth with the Godzilla. A lot more depth. You're going to be playing that for longer, but it depends how good a player you are. But I mean, that's fun. The Cactus Canyon is as fun as
the Cactus Canyon is a good crowd pleaser. If you want to be a social player with your mates and it's funny enough, I was sent a friend of ours the other day. We were talking about Addams Family of all things, because I'd said to her, I said, actually Addams Family isn't. We all remember Addams Family from it being in the pub in the mid-90s, and we used to play Addams Family with a fag resting across the lock bar and a pint on the table behind you, and you're always having a sort of 2, 3, 4 player game with a group of people, and at that point any machine is fantastic. So we have very fond memories of Addams Family, and she was thinking about getting one, and then she went to Pinfest and played it, and then said, actually, you're right, there are games that I would prefer to have if I'm going to buy as a keeper over Addams Family. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Addams Family, but she said that it's a lot of it was nostalgia. But it's I think a lot of these games, they are worth having. There, Cactus is a good crowd pleaser game. If you're in a group of mates around, you have a fun game, you won't go wrong with Cactus Canyon at all.
Oh, you really won't. Things like the shootout really work. They really work. The animations are great on it. The shots are great. The loops reward is great. A double weird sort of shot on the right hand side where it should be an orbit. One of them that's not really, loops back. That's really good. I like that, the Jeopardy and what's her name? Polly, whatever. I think it's
Polly on the train tracks.
Train and it's really good.
Yeah,
really,
it is.
Really,
it's a good crowd pleasing. And Godzilla is good for a whole different set of reasons. It's got much more depth, and you'll lose a lot of time on Godzilla.
Yeah, absolutely. That game, I had that 1.9 billion. They must have been playing the game for 20-25 minutes, Spence. I was there for felt like a long time.
Had you just decided to have a quick game before you're due to be somewhere?
No. There's very few places I have to be these days. But great. Absolutely great game. Absolutely love it.
You're looking at it now. I happen to know that it's stage left.
It's there. I am looking at it right now. Yeah, gorgeous game. Oh, I should probably say before we leave. So I do have to go. I've got to go and. My daughter's having a field day. She's thinking, she's watching telly. They think, oh, crikey, late night tonight on a school night. So the armor has gone off now. The Batman armor. I've decided on a design for it. We had a really good dialogue, and obviously it just looked too dark, and the design was bad. And anybody that spoke to me at Pinfest, I do apologise. As I said, I was a bit like Uncle Albert talking about the war and Only Fools and Horses. You know, I was constantly going, have you spoken to him? Yeah. Has he told you about his armor? Yeah, boring, isn't it? So I was, so anyway, so I've told that. So so he's going to go and do that. I've got hopefully a nice design for it. You know, I've actually done, you know, quite a few of the proofs myself on it. Some other interesting concepts and things that I'm working on with 2 other people as well, for 2 other completely separate games, which should be a lot of fun. Had a very interesting conversation today. Lots of stuff going on in the pinball world, you know. So
it's all go at Gonzo Towers.
It is. Anyway, listen. We'll leave it there, Spencer. Thank you very much, my friend. You're up next week to.
Always a pleasure. Yeah, I shall pop up in the car. I've got a hard drive to fit in your computer, and I am going to come and try out Iron Maiden, and I'm gonna see how it goes. As ever, I shall keep. I pulled a bit of a face earlier on, but actually, I'm quite keen to see how it plays. Genuinely keen.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you to Alan as well, because he's lending me World Cup Soccer. So we're going to get over and see Alan.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Really good. So it's really kind of him. It's really nice, and you know, really, and it's so nice. People have been so generous with their collections. And Matt, I've got to give a massive shout out to Matt as well. Matt's so good to me. That's his Medieval Madness there. I spoke to him the other day, and Matt said, he said, you know, take that, borrow something else, and you know, so he's so good. A lovely family, and there's somebody else as well. I just wanted to, say hello to Collie Wobbles as well. There you go. I know hello to him. I want to say hello to him again, and I'm afraid, no, it does. Well, it might well do, but not in this kingdom. It doesn't. Not for very long. Anyway, thank you to everybody for tuning in, and it's been very, very nice. Good fun to talk some more pinball as usual. Yes, we got Big Phil coming up. We got Alan coming up. Alan Bards. We've got a nice little joint story actually for the 2 of us, because we.
What, as in
no, because Alan.
Oh, right, okay.
Alan. Basically, I squared off against Alan in the whatever it was, the knockout rounds. Basically, Alan knocked me out in Pinfest, and then went through, and he played very, very well indeed. Well, of course, he knocked me out. He had to play well, didn't he? But no, we've got a funny story to tell.
It'd be worse if he knocked you out and then completely bailed on the whole thing.
No, he played well. He played really well. So we've got an interesting story to tell about that, and we'll be getting some of his pinball history and why he got into the hobby and all the rest of it. And as ever, please go and check out the Chinwag thread over on Pinball Info. Please stick your name on there if you want to come and join me on a Chinwag. It'd be really nice. The more the merrier. We've done 54 now. It'd be nice to, you know, can't just be me and Spencer all the time. So you know, it'd be nice to get some more on. And I really do honestly, I really appreciate everyone in the chat and joining in, and thanks everybody. And give us a little look on Facebook as well. The link's in the description below. Do not forget. I'm clicking it so I remember. Playpinball.uk for the UK Open this weekend. Don't
get yourself down to Croydon. There you go.
Get yourself down to Croydon. Get yourself a whopper. Win yourself $5,000.
Don't forget to help them pack the damn place down as well, because I tell you what, on that Sunday evening, it'll be like a desert down there. It'll just go, and they'll be gone home.
The old leg.
Yeah, I've got to get home. The wife is expecting me. Yeah,
I didn't tell you about my tennis elbow, did I? No, funny. It's been final weekend. You didn't mention it. Anyway, there you go. Right. See you later, folks. Spence.
You take it easy. I'll see you later, mate. Cheers, buddy.